Actually, this company is really risky in my opinion. This is a stock you want to stay away from. This is Boeing right here. They actually have not made a single dollar of net income in over 2 years, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, look at their net income right here. Just in the two most recent quarters, they lose billions every quarter. And if we just zoom out, literally since 2022, they haven't made a single dollar of net income. So I just stay away from Boeing in my opinion. I don't love the airline industry, and they also have more liabilities than they have assets. So I would just stay away from Boeing, in my opinion. Yeah, yeah, they are in the defense and aerospace industry, but look at this. The sales are down 19% year over year. So Boeing kind of lost their growth. You know, I would, probably stay away from them. Powell's doing so good. Hey, what up, Nicholas? Hey, yeah, yes, sir, DG. We are back on here. Short CZR. What is CZR stock? So Caesars Entertainment. So check out this stock. Yeah, they have not done so good since 2019. They're below their 2019 level. Let's see. Oh, so they're in this business. Oh, they have hotels. How's their hotel doing? Wow. Look at their hotel revenue since 2019. It's kind of jumped up there. But yeah, look at that. So the net income is a little choppy on Caesars right here, but in the two most recent quarters, they did make net income. So that's the good news. They did make net income in the two most recent quarters. Hey, what up? Kayon, what's up, dude? Kayon Mills, he said, what do you think of SoFi? Dude, I own SoFi. I really like this company. Check this out. Oh, yeah, we were looking at a video. That's a stock that I do own. I might be a little biased on this one, but yeah, look at that. We were up 115% on our few shares of SoFi. We only own 24 shares of them left. Oh, yeah, we'll check out ALGS. Yes, sir. I'm going to try to get to all the stocks here. I appreciate y'all. And yo, Stocks and Sports Guy, I really appreciate the rose, the little goat there. I appreciate you, dude. But here's the best part about SoFi, in my opinion. You want to look at their financial services revenue because they're a fintech. They have their own banking charter. And look at this growth. It's phenomenal. It's up 85% year over year, literally to a new record. So that's what's incredible about SoFi. And they're profitable now. If we look at their net income, they just made 300 million, or they've made net income every single quarter in the past 4 quarters. When if you look at last year, they used to lose so much net income every quarter. So SoFi, in my opinion, is a great growth stock. Not financial advice. Look at that. You could lose a lot of money on a stock. Don't listen to me. I'm not an expert. And yo, what's up, Joseph? Good to see you, friend. ALGS, he says this is a biotech stock. So yeah, this is a therapeutics one. So look in the top right, the market cap. This whole company is only worth $72 million. So yeah, this is an extremely risky company. So I would just stay away from this one because yeah, if we look at their sales right here, look at their actual revenue. It's only $600,000 in the most recent quarter, and it's down 76%. So in my opinion, yeah, I just stay away from that one. It looks very risky. And someone says MicroStrategy. Do you think this stock would just keep on going up? So yeah, this is MicroStrategy right here. This is pretty much just a leveraged Bitcoin stock. Because if we go to their balance sheet right here, the reason you buy this stock is for the Bitcoin they own on their balance sheet. Look at their balance sheet in the most recent quarter. It just jumped up from 8 billion to 25 billion. That's because they literally just bought so much Bitcoin. Which is ridiculous. And they have a small software business. You're not buying them for their software business because their software revenue is down 3% year over year. So anyway, if Bitcoin does good, then MicroStrategy will also do good. Someone said IEP's dividends. So I would stay away from ticker symbol IEP. They actually give you a K1 tax form at the end of the year because you're not technically buying stock. You're technically buying units because you're a partner in the company. And to be honest with you, this company just looks really risky. The sales are down they're down 39% year over year, and the net income is really choppy. If you actually average out the 4 quarters, they're actually losing net income, and it's been that way for a while. So I would look at the dividend. 36% dividend. The dividend's going down, and they can't afford it. So, oh hey, yeah, Bristol. This app is in the link tree in my bio. It's the first link there. Nicholas said thoughts on Snow. So yeah, this is kind of Palantir's competitor. So this is another data software company. And this one actually has not done too good. Look at this one since IPO. They're kind of been flat / down. And that's because, well, here's the good news. Look at their product revenue. This is incredible, actually. Look at that. It's up 29% year over year, literally to a new record. So their product revenue is doing incredible. So then why is the stock going down? Well, it's actually because of their profits. Look at this net income down here. They're actually losing 300 million of net income every single quarter. So in my opinion, I just like to see Snowflake get profitable, finally make net income. I think that's why the stock has kind of been suppressed. Yo, Terbuccio says AMD stock. Yo, that is a stock that I own here in my Weeble portfolio. Let me pull that up for you. We're actually down bad on this stock. We're down like 15%. Yeah. Our average cost is at $125 a share. So we are down on AMD, but I'm certainly not selling them because the actual earnings they just reported were really good, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, but look at their PC GPU market share. AMD actually has a 17% GPU market share. So you get a lot of exposure to GPUs, and same with data centers. Look at this data center revenue right here. It is up 69% year over year, literally to a new record. So if you're looking for a stock to get exposure to data centers, AMD could be one to buy. They're at a new record. So and look at the free cash flow. They just made it over $1 billion of free cash flow. And the operating profit as well was over $1 billion. They had a one-time tax adjustment. So the net income was only 400 million. But AMD is doing great, dude. I like them. Not financial advice. So Austin said, what do you think about XYZ? So that is Square or Block, and that's actually a stock owned by Nancy Pelosi. So let me show you this right here. We are in Nancy Pelosi's portfolio. This isn't that much of her portfolio, but check this out. This is the company that owns Cash App. If anyone's heard of Cash App before, look at that. That's 67% of the revenue. And what up, Todd? What up, dude? And yeah, look at the Cash App revenue. It's only up 2.7% year over year. So that's not great, to be honest with you. Only 2.7% growth on Cash App. It's not blowing anyone away. But look at their net income in the most recent quarter. That was a one-time adjustment. You can tell from their operating profit, but it's still growing from the previous year. So actually, then the numbers aren't too terrible at XYZ. Oh, here we go. Austin said, what do you think about Tesla? So yeah, let's check out Tesla stock. They were up 5% on the day, but that's after them having just a terrible couple months here. They were just at $450. Now they're at 230. So anyway, we can see their total vehicles delivered. It's only up 2.2% year over year. So that doesn't beat inflation. That's actually why I think the stock is kind of slowing down. If we look at their automotive sales, it's down 5% year over year. But look at this energy storage and generation business. This is what a lot of people don't understand. This business is growing like crazy. Again, it's not much of their revenue, but it's up 67% year over year to a new record. So that is really impressive about Tesla. Oh yeah, here's our Robinhood portfolio. Yeah, how'd y'all stocks do today? Here's our main taxable account. We were up 2.3% on the day. Yeah, here are all the stocks that we own in here. Like I got, these are all dividend paying stocks. So I got McDonald's, Google. I mean, like Meta and Google aren't really dividend stocks because you're really buying Google and Meta for the stock price appreciation. But yeah, sold my block for a loss. Hey, that you probably bought something more quality. I could understand that. But yeah. Oh, here we go. Someone just Day said APLD. That's a stock owned by NVIDIA. Check this out. We can also look at NVIDIA's portfolio. This is kind of crazy. NVIDIA owns ARM, APLD. You know what? Let's look at APLD real quick because this is what I like to look at. And hey, I appreciate all the follows. Thanks for the follow, Jelly. Yeah, if y'all want to hit the follow button, we go live every day, twice a day, just looking at stocks. I don't sell anything. I don't got a course book, Discord, none of that. But look, this is the part of not a lot of people realize about APLD. Look at their cloud service revenue. A year ago, it was only $2 million. And look at the most recent quarter, it's $27 million. Oh, hey, DD, this app is called Mumu. It's in the link tree in my bio, first link there. Or you can just type it in the App Store. But yeah, the cloud service revenue is why I really like APLD. Plus, it's owned by NVIDIA. So NVIDIA has a small stake in APLD. Just because NVIDIA owns it doesn't mean the stock will do good. Like, look at this right here. NVIDIA took a stake into WeRide. The stock pumped up to $40+, and then it completely sold it all off. Now it's at $15. So, that's a Chinese one. I'd be careful there. But yeah, NVIDIA is really innovative. Oh, what up? Here we go. What up, Ian? He says Nano X Imaging. Yikes, this one has not done too good. It's pretty much at an all-time low, so I do feel bad if you own this stock right here. But look in the top right, the market cap. They're only worth $350 million, so this is a very small company with a very small market cap. They're in their radiology services, so they're not doing much revenue at all. Like if we go to their actual revenue right here, look at that. It's only $3 million. So $3 million of revenue, and they lost $13 million of net income. So I just be careful about this one. They're not profitable. They do have a really good balance sheet, like they have no debt. But look, if you notice, their assets are slowly declining because they're losing net income every quarter. And, that's got to come from somewhere. So it just takes it out of their assets. So honestly, that one has a really small market cap. I'd be careful with that one. I'm going to buy high and sell low. Hey, what up, Cruelant? What's up, dude? I feel that. So here, let's look at CrowdStrike. This is a cybersecurity name. I believe Nancy Pelosi owns this stock as well. You know what? I'll double check after we look at them. So here's the good news. Like if we look at their revenue right here on a quarterly basis, you know what? Let me just do it down here and go to their total sales, it's up 25% year over year. So they're now making over $1 billion of sales a quarter, which is really impressive. Now they're still not making net income yet. And look at that. They lost 92 million of net income. That's what their EPS is going to do. So if you look at a PE ratio, you know, CrowdStrike is going to be trading at a ridiculous PE, but you got to look at the forward PE or look at a free cash flow. Their free cash flow fell 11% year over year. So I'd have to do some more research into that. But anyway, I really like that one for a cybersecurity name. You know what? Let me show. That's fiscal year 2025. Yeah, let me check Nancy Pelosi. I believe she owns this one as well. So yeah, Nancy Pelosi, 3.4% of her portfolios in CrowdStrike. She also owns PANW. You know, this is also another cybersecurity name that I really like. Hey, what up, Kevin? Yeah, we'll check out AST. Wait, is it ticker symbol ASTS or ticker symbol AST? But here's Palo Alto Network. This is one just like CrowdStrike, but look at this one right here. Look at their subscription business, and this is half their business. This is crazy. I like subscription revenue companies because it's like reoccurring revenue. And look at that. Their subscription revenue is up 20% year over year, literally to a new record. It just hits a new record every single quarter. So PANW is a very cool cybersecurity stock as well. You know, don't listen to me. I'm not an expert. You could lose a lot of money on a stock. Like, look at this stock right here. I thought it was a good buy, and it clearly wasn't. So always do your own research. Don't listen to me. Okay, are you buying any Bitcoin? Not really, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm buying Robinhood stock, but that kind of moves with Bitcoin. But yeah, I'm not buying Bitcoin individually right now. But here's AST Space Mobile. So yeah, this is the company that sends rockets into space. I don't think they have any revenue right now. So let me go double check that. That's what I don't love about this company. Yeah, look in the most recent quarter. The sales were only $1.9 million. Like that's not that much money, only 1.9 million. And look at that, dang, they lost 50 million that quarter of net income. They lost 300 million the quarter before. So, in my opinion, I'd be careful with AST Space Mobile just because they don't have that much revenue. You know, I'd probably prefer like a Rocket Lab and RKLB, in my opinion. Like, look at this company's revenue. This is why this company deserves all the hype. Look at their space system sales. It is up 75% year over year. They also have over $1 billion backlogged of orders. So RKLB is a cool one. Hey, what up, Sermon? How's it going? Bro, my company sold more than that in Q4. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you should IPO your company. Hey, this app right here is called Moo. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's the first link there if you want to get it. Yo, Ray said, what do you think about AMD? Yeah, dude, AMD, check this out. Here's my Weeble portfolio. I actually own 12.95 shares of them. So, full transparency, we're down like crazy on them, so I'm definitely not an expert. But I'll give you a quick analysis on AMD. They're kind of like Nvidia's competitor. Next decade, what do you think about? I'm thinking about all my favorite stocks, you know, like Meta, Google, Amazon. Yo, I bought some Amazon for the first time yesterday. I'll show you that a little later, but here's my AMD position. Here's why I like them. Look at that. You actually get a 17% PC GPU market share with AMD. So they have a huge market share for GPUs. And yo, what's up, Rob? How's it going, dude? But mainly, if you're looking for a stock to get exposure to data centers, consider AMD for the exposure you get to data centers. The data center revenue is up 69% year over year. That is incredible. That's what I really like about AMD. And the free cash flow is over $1 billion, the net income as well. So, and they have no net debt. They actually have no net debt at all. So AMD, and my, you know, I'm biased because I own them. But oh yeah, here's how my portfolio did today. We were up 2.27% in this portfolio. And if we go to our Robinhood portfolio, this one was the real winner. Or we were up 2.1% in here. So yeah, these are all the stocks that we own in here. Actually, every stock in here pays a dividend. Yeah, these are all the stocks that I'm just gonna hold for the next decade, you know, like Google, Meta, McDonald's, Constellation Energy, Salesforce. You know, I love all these companies. Um, Yo, Sermon, ABBA, is that a stock? ABBA, yeah, Todd, today was a great day. Um, yeah, no problem, Kevin. How about Digital Realty Trust? Is that DLR? So yeah, Digital Realty Trust. This is a real estate investment trust, hence the name. So they have this high dividend. They have a 3.3% dividend, and it's completely sustainable because they're a real estate investment trust. You don't actually look at the net income for this company because of their tax breaks. You want to go to the cash from operating activities down here. See the potential next decade? Oh, ticker symbol next. Okay, Rob, I didn't know that that was what you were talking about. So anyway, look at this company's cash from operating activities. It was up 66%. So that's actually great news. So it's, yeah, what up, Rob? He said ticker symbol next. I didn't know that was what he was talking about. So wow, look at this company. I believe they pretty much just hit a new 52-week high. So congrats if you own them. You know, they're only a $2.4 billion company. I've never heard of them before. Oh, so this is another startup. So look at that. They actually don't sell anything. They don't have any sales. They don't sell a product or a service, but I don't know how, but it says they made 480 million of net income. I don't know if that was like a I don't know what happened, but anyway, they don't have any sales, but the stock's done great. So congrats if you own them. Building a facility in Texas, first of its kind. Oh, really, Rob? That's really interesting. I did not know that. Oh, yo, Todd says, how much of Amazon? I think he was asking. Yeah, if we go to my Roth IRA right here, you know, big whoop. Check this out. I have bought one share of Amazon, so I get it, not that much. But yeah, I am a shareholder of Amazon. We bought one share at $192, and I bought it in my Roth IRA. You know, I'm trying to build up my Roth IRA because I don't have much. It's only $500. But hey, that's you don't got to start with much. You know, just try and put $20, $30 every month into the Roth. Um, Oh, hey, Joan, I'm not sure what app you're talking about, but all the apps are in the link tree in my bio. This one's called Moomoo. This one's called Robinhood. Or you can just type it in the App Store. You know, this one's called Robinhood. Yes, sir. Yeah, no problem, Ray. Oh, Sermon says BABA. So yeah, I'm streaming on TikTok and YouTube right now. So for y'all on TikTok, I'd really appreciate if y'all would go over to my YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button, or just go watch the stream from YouTube. I'd really appreciate that because TikTok keeps like banning my lives. But anyway, I actually really like Alibaba right here, despite them being a Chinese company. Look at that; they're trading at 20 times net income, so they're trading at a very fair PE in my opinion. But look at the net income this company is making, the actual profits. You know, just in the two most recent quarters, they made 6 billion each quarter. So that's incredible, the amount of profits they're making. Same with free cash flow. Literally this quarter, they made 10 billion of free cash flow. So I actually like they own AliExpress. We can see their active customers. Wow, they have 903 million annual active customers. So they have like new AI products and stuff. So AliExpress is cool. Oh, LNG, is that the stock you're talking about? That's I don't know how to pronounce that, like Chinar Energy. So look at that. The stock's at an all-time high. I know a lot of energy stocks are really hot right now. Yo, Stock Sports Guy, thanks so much for the rose, dude, for the go. Oh, yes, sir. We will check out BBAI after this. I got you. So LNG, this one's, you know, a natural gas play. So they're trading at a 16 PE. Yeah, look at the net income right here. They pretty much just make $1 billion plus of net income every quarter. You get a nice little growing dividend here as well. So yeah, and most importantly, this incredible stock price appreciation. You know, in 2019, this stock was $60. Now they're 230. So nice. Oh, here we go. Yeah, thanks again, stocks, for the rose there. Let's check out BBAI. Yeah, so Big Bear AI Holdings. To be honest with you, you know, I just like to give you my honest thoughts. You know, I don't love this name actually, and here's why. They're only worth $800 million, and look at well, they're just a money losing company right now. So in the most recent quarter, they've actually lost over 100 million of net income, but the sales. Well, actually, look at this right here. If we look at the orange line, the analysts were expecting them to make 54 million of revenue, but they only made 43 million. They also lost more net income than expected. Actually, they did beat on EBITDA, but yeah, I'd be careful with Big Bear AI. They have dang, look at that. Their liabilities just went up and their assets stayed the same. So I just be careful with that one. I just wouldn't put a lot of money into that one. You know, maybe just that could be a fun swing trade. I wouldn't put a ton of my money into that one though. You know, not financial advice. Don't listen to me though. Vin01 says, I'm thinking about buying MU. What's your opinion? You know, this one's kind of like AMD. I own AMD. Also, MU is one that I would also own. I really like this stock right here. Check this out right here. This is what's really impressive. Look at their compute and networking business. This is what's crazy. On a quarterly basis, it is up 153% year over year, up to $4.4 billion, like to a new record. That's incredible growth. Like you can't make that up. Their storage units, their storage business, like server storage is up 165%. Mobile is up 18. So anyway, their two main segments of business are growing ridiculously, and now they're profitable as well. In the most recent quarter, they made $2 billion. If we zoom out, look at that. They used to lose net income every quarter. So they've really turned things around. So MU is one that I do like. And again, don't listen to me. Always do your own research. This isn't financial advice. And full disclosure, I don't sell anything. I don't got a course, book, Discord, none of that. So all I have is a YouTube channel. So if you want to help me out, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Nathan Robert. It's also in the link tree in my bio. Yeah, what up, Josh? He says, look at Oscar stock. So this is Oscar Health. They're like a health insurance, life insurance company. And check this out. This is what is the most impressive part. Look at their annual sales right here. Literally in 2019, their sales were $500 million. Not that much. But now in 2024, it was $9 billion. That is massive growth. They're really taking market share in the insurance industry. The sales are up 67% year over year. So as long as they keep up that sales growth, I do like this name. But I think the reason the stock has been flat recently is because of this net income. In the most recent quarter, they lost $150 million of net income. So I just want to see them get profitable. But yeah, that sales growth is crazy. Let's see. Jason says QBTS. So this is D-Wave Quantum. Dude, this stock just went like parabolic. They're pretty much at an all-time high right now. They're a $3 billion company. They're like a quantum stock. Yeah, I don't really, the reason the stock went up was good guidance because the actual quarter was not good. This is why I'd personally not put too much money into this one. Look at their sales year over year. The sales are only $2 million in the most recent quarter. So in the past 3 months, the company only did $2 million of sales. And look at the net income. They just lost $90 million of net income. So I wouldn't put too much of my money with this company, but the stock's done great nonetheless. Like I say that, but the stock's at an all-time high. So, congrats if you own them. I sold it around 9 and bought back at 2 something. Oh, dang, you did a nice little swing trade there. I just looked, I did 2.29%. Oh, nice, Tot. Xpeng and Neo. Here, we'll look at Neo. So I feel bad if you own this stock. So this is like a Chinese Tesla. They make electric vehicles. And if you're wondering like, hey, what happened to this stock? Why is it just like falling off a cliff recently? Well, to be honest with you, it's just because of these net income losses. They literally lose like 700 million of net income every quarter. And they just burn shareholder money. Like they're literally issuing shares when the stock is at all-time lows, which is the worst time to do it. So in my opinion, I would not buy the dip on Neo. I'd rather buy like a Tesla or actually an Xpeng. I'd rather buy Xpeng than that one. Yo, Sherbert says Broadcom. I'll be quick with this one. Yeah, we just looked at them. I really like Broadcom, bro. Mainly, a lot of people don't know this, but look at their infrastructure software revenue. It's now 45% of their business. It used to be a much smaller chunk because look at this. The revenue is up 50% year over year. It has grown by 50% since 1 year ago. And like, look at that. In 2022, it was only, 2 billion. Now it's, incredible 6.7 billion. And same with the free cash flow. If we look at the FCF, which is free cash flow, they made 6 billion of free cash flow just this quarter. So Broadcom's really impressive. Are you going to buy MU? Probably not because I already own AMD. BTDR. Yeah, we'll look at SSD. What's that one? We'll check it out. Wait, BTDR. So this is BitDeer Technologies. I haven't heard of this one before. They're a $2 billion company, so it's not too terrible. So they do self-mining. Is that like cryptocurrency mining? I'm not too sure. Membership hosting, general hosting. Oh yeah, so cloud hash rate. So I would assume that's crypto. So yeah, if we look at the balance sheet right here, yeah, their assets are growing. But the sales are down 39%, and they just lost $500 million. Not sure how that happened, but nothing's really blowing me away here to want to own that stock. Really, I feel bad. But I just like to give you try to give you my honest thoughts. So yeah, here's a company that's on my watch list actually. This is ticker symbol SSD. This is Simpson Manufacturing, and this is a very unique company. Look at their wood construction revenue. And, since 2019, it's up like crazy. It's kind of been flat the past 3 years, but also we can see their concrete construction revenue. Now, this is growing, a little bit faster, but actual profits here are the best part. If we look at the net income right here, they're pretty much making like 50 to 100 million of net income a quarter, and they have a small dividend, a 0.7% dividend yield. So that's not bad. Analysts have this at like $180 stock price. They're trading at a 20 PE. They just sell a commodity like they just sell wood products and concrete products, but they got a 21 PE. They're not terrible. They kind of move with the home builders. New York says, check out not Meta, but he said, can you check out Zeta? So check out this stock right here. I haven't heard of this one actually. Here's Zeta stock, $3.5 billion company. Look at that. Yikes. They like reported earnings or something, and then they tanked after. Well, let's just find out for ourselves what happened here. So looks like they beat on all their metrics. What about the net income? So look at that. They used to lose net income every quarter. Well, in the most recent quarter, they just made 15 million in net income. So that's actually good news. They just made net income, and yeah, the sales are up 50% year over year. So that's actually, from what I can see, this company's, I don't see anything wrong. Maybe it was just overvalued or something, but the assets are growing, the sales are growing, they're profitable now. So actually, as long as they can keep that up, that's great. What up, Zio? How's it going, bro? Mm. Yeah, BYD is doing incredible, and they're at a low valuation. Um, Spot gold hits a record high. Dang, is that true? You know what? Let's check that. Ticker symbol IAU. This is how you check for gold. Look at that. Gold literally right now, today, is at an all-time high. So if you want any gold chains or something, maybe go sell it. Gold is going crazy, bro. So yeah, what up, Moose saying? He says MDB stock. So this is MongoDB. This is like a software name. Look at them. They just reported earnings and they gapped down. So they actually gave some weak guidance, which wasn't great. So we can kind of see their Mongo Atlas related. The sales were up 26%. So that was good news. The sales were up 26%. Their other subscription was up 13%. So actually the numbers were pretty good. Yeah, this quarter's, they beat on everything. They beat on sales. They beat on net income and EBITDA. But I think they gave weak guidance. Yeah, look at that. They just made net income for the first time. So 15 million of net income. So actually, the numbers weren't great there. Yeah, appreciate you, New York. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're streaming on TikTok and we're streaming on YouTube right now. So for y'all on TikTok, I'd appreciate if y'all would go to my YouTube channel and watch it from there. I'm dual streaming. You can also watch it on replay if you'd want to watch it back for some reason. But anyway, here's a company that owns Temu, bro. I actually just ordered some stuff on Temu. I spent, first time ever, I spent $15 total and got a bunch of stuff. It was pretty stupid. But here's Temu stock. I'm sure they have my data now. They have my data. Anyway, we can see their active users. They actually have 751 million monthly active users. So that's really impressive. And if we just look at the profits here, the net income on Pinduoduo, they're literally making 3 to 4 billion of net income a quarter. Like they're coming for Amazon. This is pretty crazy. And hey, I do own Amazon now. SSD have a monopoly on construction hardware. Really, Todd? I did not know that. Yeah, you're right, Rocco. They're trading at a low valuation as well. Um, Luffy, bro, what's up, dude? Good to see you. So here's General Mills stock. So this is an interesting food company because they're in a lot of different industries. And what up, JT? He says GME, please. Yes, sir. We will check out GameStop after this. Yes, sir. So look at General Mills valuation. They're literally trading at 12 times net income. So that's a very low valuation. And look at how diversified General Mills are. They sell snacks. 15% of their business comes from cereal, convenient meals, dough. They even sell pet food. So 12% of the revenue comes from pets. Look at that. Literally, this huge company, 7.2% of this huge company's revenue comes from yogurt. So anyway, this is a cool food company. They just make 600, 700 million of net income a quarter, and you get a 4% dividend. That's sustainable as well. 4% dividend. So I have a few interesting things to share with y'all about GameStop. So a lot of people think this is a meme stock, and it is. A lot of people are hoping like Warren Key tweets something again. But the best part about GameStop is actually their balance sheet now. This company has no debt, literally no debt at all, and $4.6 billion of cash. And the whole company is worth $10 billion. So literally 40% of the company you're paying is just their cash value. You're definitely not buying them for the fundamentals here because look at the revenue, the sales. The sales are down 21%. So that's, you don't really look at the fundamentals there because they don't trade off that. But anyway, yeah, that's what I like about them. Their net cash position. Hey, what up, K dude? Good to see you, dude. Yes, sir. Hey, yeah, thanks for watching the YouTube video. Yo, yes, I just made a YouTube video about 3 high yielding dividend stocks to buy in the most recent YouTube video. If you like high yielding stocks, yo, it's Lamb Research. Is that LRCX? What's the ticker symbol for that one? Yeah, I guessed it. So here's Lamb Research right here. PDD, real good and undervalued. Yeah, I don't know about the what tariffs will do to Timu. So yeah, that will be interesting. So yeah, here's Lam Research right here. This company makes, semiconductor chips, and look at the valuation. They're trading at a 23 PE, so that's a very fair valuation in my opinion. What about the net income? So look at the profits. They pretty much just make $1 billion of net income every single quarter. So that's very good. Um, I, I think the company's just at a they're not growing too much. Like if we look at their revenue on an annual basis, like the revenue was higher in 2022 than it was for the full year 2024. So they're recovering from there, but still they're very profitable. And you get a nice dividend. Yeah, look at that. You get an over 1% dividend, and they're easily able to grow it. So yeah, Lamb Research is a cool one. I didn't even know they had a stock. Yo, I forgot what stock we're. Oh, General Mills maybe. Yeah, they're interesting. NVIDIA, can you tell me how they look? Yo, what up? Hey, Joe. Yes, I got you. So here's NVIDIA stock. I kind of own their competitor. I own AMD, but I am also bullish on NVIDIA because I like the fundamentals here. Like, here's what you get with NVIDIA. You get exposure to GPUs. They have an 18% PC GPU market share, so that's very nice. Their automotive revenue is growing. Did y'all see the NVIDIA's partnership with GM? So that should help their automotive revenue. They're partnering with like WeRide. But look at the net income, the profits on NVIDIA. They just made 22 billion of net income just this quarter. So they're incredibly profitable. The assets are growing, the free cash flow is growing. Everything on Nvidia is still growing. So until that growth goes away, that's when I would sell Nvidia. I definitely wouldn't be selling them here. So again, not financial advice. I let me find here's my AMD position. I got 12.95 shares of AMD. Yeah, congrats if y'all got stocks, bro. Today my stock portfolio did great. Our main account was up 2.23. The Roth IRA was up 2.8. So yeah, how's y'all portfolio do? Yeah, if you guys got any stocks I'm gonna look at, we'll check them out. Pinduoduo has no debt and 50 billion of net cash or cash. Yo, that's crazy, Rocco. You know, they may be Chinese, but they still have a great balance sheet. Wow. So here's GM. Okay, yeah, we can check out General Motors right here. Yeah, this actually, I like this company more than Ford. This company does better than Ford, I will say. Yeah, look at the valuation because they just sell a commodity cars. They trade at an 8 PE ratio, so ridiculously low valuation, but that's normal for them. Yeah, look at the net income right here. So they just had a one-time adjustment because their operating profit was 1.5 billion, but usually this company just makes 2 to 3 billion of net income every quarter. Then they just pay out a 1% dividend. They have a really low payout ratio, less than 10% payout ratio. So yeah, again, I'd have to see how much debt they have. It's 200 billion of liabilities. That's not great. Again, a lot of people don't love this industry, but yeah. Do you do YouTube full time? I do not. But hopefully one day or something. Yo, Jeff Mack, PPC. Wait, is that a stock right here? Pilgrims, huh? So this company's done great. Oh, look at that. They just did a special dividend, bro. Actually, I'll add this one to my watch list. I have a portfolio or a watch list of stocks with no or that does special dividends. So this company just announced a $6 special dividend. So look at the PE. Wow, they're trading at an 11 PE ratio. That's very low. So they sell fresh products, prepared products. So yeah, their fresh products revenue is growing. What about the profits, the net income? So wow, look at the net income. Yeah, Jeff Mack, this company's doing great. Look at the net income growth. It's up, 70, 100% year over year. The free cash flow is growing as well. So yeah, I can see why they paid out that special dividend. They have the money to afford it. They probably chose to do that instead of a buyback. I just picked up some CEG. Hopefully it pays off. Yo, K-Do, I am with you on that stock right here. I got 15 shares of CEG. Yeah, look at that. They're up 4.88% on the day. So nice. Congrats if you own them before today. Or congrats if you just own any stock. Someone said, to do APLD. Yo, that's a stock that Nvidia owns. So did you know Nvidia like individually owns some stocks, and that's one of the companies that they own. Oh yeah, then we can look at Palantir as well. So look at APLD right here. A lot of people don't know this. This is what you got to look at. But look at the infrastructure or the cloud service revenue right here. This is ridiculous. Literally a year ago, it was $2 million. Now in the most recent quarter, it's 27 million. So the cloud service business has literally blown up on APLD. Very impressive. But you got to be careful because they are still losing money. They actually just lost over 100 million of net income, but still, Nvidia owns them. Looks great to me, but definitely like hearing your thoughts. Hey, yeah, Jeff Mack, I'm not an expert. I just like looking at the numbers. Oh, hey, James, this app is called Moomoo. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's the first link there if you want to get it. And again, you could lose a lot of money on a stock. So, have a diversified portfolio. Always do your own research. Make sure you're buying a high quality stock. So yeah, let's look at Palantir. What up, Leo? Yes, sir. So yeah, we're streaming on YouTube and TikTok. So for y'all on TikTok, I'd appreciate if y'all would go watch the stream from my YouTube channel. It's called Nathan Robert. My YouTube channel is in the link tree in my bio. But let's analyze Palantir. Did you know Palantir has no debt whatsoever? Palantir is a debt-free company, and literally the government is Palantir's best friend. Look at this. The government business is half of their revenue, and look at this growth. The government revenue is up 41% year over year. So that's incredible growth. And also the commercial revenue as well is up 31% year over year. So the growth rate is growing on Palantir. So that's the best part. And they have no debt. So, they don't owe anyone any money. They collect a lot of interest on their cash. So I agree you should be investing into growth over dividend, no criticism. I feel like I own dividend growth companies. I feel happy with my Meta position. Even though Meta pays a dividend, I feel like this is like a dividend growth company. I feel the way about a lot of my stocks. Like most of these companies have a yield like under 1%. But yeah, look at that. We were up 2.35% on the day. Our portfolio, I think, did better than the S&P. Yeah, we outperformed the S&P. I think we have a higher beta than the S&P. But yeah, I appreciate you. Little emoji there. Thank you, bro. Yeah, what up, Corey Potter? Yeah, the live stream's back up. I sent a long email to TikTok and they actually replied, bro. TikTok actually replied and got my account unlive stream banned. I don't know how, but they did it. So thank you. QCOM. Yo, what up, Brocco? So QCOM, bro, I love this company actually. They have a nice dividend and they're still growing. So they own Snapdragon, I believe. Look at the dividend. You get a 2.2% dividend and the payout ratio is at 36%. They even have room to raise that dividend. And if we look at the net income right here, the net income was $3 billion, up 15% year over year. So incredible growth of QCOM's profits or their net income. And look at the Qualcomm code division. Yeah, that's up 19% year over year. That's crazy. Look at that smartphone chip market share. So yeah, they make smartphone chips, and look at that. They have a 26% smartphone market share. Do I have any crypto exposure? I actually kind of do. I own Robinhood stock, ticker symbol Hood. This company mainly makes profits from crypto transaction fees, and it mainly just moves with Bitcoin. And I don't own much. I've taken a lot of profits on this company because we're up like 200%, but we have 5 shares left of Hood. Oh yeah, someone said ticker symbol Hood earlier. Yeah, here's my Robinhood stock. I'll be super quick with this one. Here's the great news. They're profitable now. And look at the sales, the actual total revenue. It's at a new record, over $1 billion. And I use the brokerage. So hey, if I'm going to use the brokerage, why not own the stock? I feel like that's for a lot of stocks. Like I use YouTube, I should own Google stock. I pay for Netflix and Spotify, I should own their stocks. That's been the right move always. Spotify stock has done incredible. Look at this. I should have bought Spotify stock instead of paying for Spotify. Same with Netflix, NFLX. They have over 300 million premium subscribers now, which is nuts. What are your thoughts? What up, New York? CLMB stock. What is this one? CLMB. So Climb Global Solutions. Huh. I've not heard of that stock before, but look at them. They're at an all-time high. Kadu, any thoughts on ACN here? We'll check out ACN. Yes, sir, Kadu. So this company's only worth $500 million. So even though they're a $500 million company, the stock's done incredible. So what about profits? So look at that. I didn't expect this. They're actually making profits. They're making net income. And the sales are up 51% year over year. So actually CLMB actually deserves this incredible growth that it's had. Wow. I'll add that one to my watch list actually. I'll do some more research on them later. That's pretty cool. Um, yeah, Kadu, ACN reports earnings tomorrow. Can you check it out? So this is Accutenture. Yeah, then we'll check out XERS and Gilead, Soundhound AI. Yeah, I want to check out all these. Remind me to look at them. I want to get to all the stocks here. I appreciate y'all. So here's Accutenture, whatever their name is. So they're trading at 27 times PE. That's actually very fair, and that's actually really low historically for evaluation on there. So they do consulting, so that's actually like a niche industry. What about the profits? So yeah, look at that. They make pretty much 2 billion of net income every single quarter. So this company is extremely profitable. They have a 1.65% dividend. So we'll have to see what their earnings are tomorrow. Looks like the earnings are they beat really good last quarter. They beat like crazy on their sales and net income last quarter. So if they beat earnings again, the stock might just skyrocket. But again, anything could happen. So XERS and Gilead Science. Yo, what's the ticker symbol for Gilead Science? I haven't heard of that stock, but so if we scroll out to the weekly, this stock has not done too good. But on the daily, look at them the past week here. They're up like 10 days in a row. So there must be some good news around this company. Oh, so they're only worth 800 million. It doesn't really take much to move this stock, but yeah, they're worth 800 million dollars. Oh, so look at this. They sell a bunch of different like prescriptions. So Gvoke or whatever. Look at that. This prescription is up 25% year over year. That's nice actually. Rikolov, whatever this is up 130%. Actually, wow, this company is really interesting. So yeah, they're not making net income yet, but look at this sales growth. The sales are up 35%. So this one could be one to add to your watch list. Dang, they're really leveraged though. They have a lot of debt, a lot of liabilities. So you got to be careful about that. But still, that's not so bad. Um, oh yeah, let's look at SoundHound AI. I saw that one earlier. So this company, I'm watching for their subscription revenue growth right here. So check this out. The stock has kind of fallen the past couple weeks here, but I don't think it deserves it because this is what you look for, their subscription revenue right here. And look at this on a quarterly basis. A year ago, it was only 400,000. Like 400,000, that's nothing. But now in the most recent quarter, it's 30 million. And this has all just happened in less than a year. So with this incredible growth rate, what's the sales going to be next quarter? So that's what I'm really watching on SoundHound AI. They're an interesting one, but you got to be careful. They're losing money, so this is a really risky one. Dang, they just lost like 300 million. So got to be careful in there. One more stock is Sezzle, SEZL. Yeah, New York, I got you, bro. Yeah, thanks for showing up on the YouTube live stream. Yo, I'm reading both chats, the TikTok and YouTube live stream. So yeah, I appreciate if y'all would on the TikTok for the 50 of y'all. If we head over to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate that. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's called Nathan Robert. But yeah, here's Sezzle stock, ticker symbol SEZL. So they're about to do a stock split. That's really interesting. So yeah, look at this sales growth. Wow, the revenue is up 100% year over year. So the revenue is literally doubled from the previous year. And look at the profits. They're now making net income. They just made 25 million of net income. So that's actually nice that they're profitable. SEZL, their assets are growing. So I wonder what industry that they're in. All the revenue comes from the U.S. So actually, they're good. Share your thoughts on. Oh wait, actually, I want to look at CELH first. This is Celsius stock right here. So has anyone heard of that like energy drink? They actually just bought Alani. If you've heard of Alani before. So anyway, Celsius stock. If you're wondering what happened to them, like how'd the stock go from 95 all the way down to 33? Like that's a crazy fall. Well, that's just because of their profits right here. Look at their net income. They used to make 40 to 90 million of net income a quarter, but look, they actually lost 18 million in the most recent quarter. So that's why the stock has fallen. But the good news is Celsius actually has no debt. They have 900 million of net cash. So that's why they just bought Alani. They have a huge cash position. The sales are down 5%, the net income went negative, but they can easily get through this. So I think that acquisition was smart. Um, BRK. So yeah, this is Berkshire Hathaway. This is the company that Warren Buffett runs. Has anyone heard of Geico? Geico is completely owned by Berkshire Hathaway. That's 28% of their business. Manufacturing, McLean. All these different businesses. They just make crazy net income, like 20, 30 billion of net income a quarter. Huge fan of Celsius. Hey, yeah, Jeff Mack. They're pretty cool. Yeah. And attempted a hostile takeover. It's because Pepsi. Oh, is Pepsi sabotaged them? I heard something like that. Like Pepsi had some supply chain thing and messed up Celsius, something like that. Oh, Elf Beauty. So yeah, let's check out ticker symbol Elf right here. So yeah, look at that. Yikes, this stock is at like a new 52-week low right now. So dang, I feel bad if you own this one. You want to know why the stock has fallen so much? It's because their margins have collapsed. Like, look at their sales. The sales are great. The sales are up 31%, but the net income is down 35%. So what does that mean in English? Look at their net margin right here. A year ago, the margin was 9%. Now it's only 5%. So their margin is down 5%, but the sales are growing like crazy. That's the good news. The sales are up 31%. They're taking market share from like Ulta Beauty, but the net income isn't keeping up with the sales. So, um, oh, hey, what up, Corey? Um, he says, look at BTE. What is that company? BTE, Baytex Energy. Yeah, so this is a Canadian company, so I'd avoid this one for like foreign taxes. And yeah, look at that. There's a Canadian like 10% instant tax they take. Yeah, this stock has not done so good. Look at them on the monthly; they're below where they were in 2006. So yeah, to be honest with you, bro, I just like to show you the numbers for yourself. Yeah, they're not even making net income really. The numbers just look so choppy here. So yeah, to be honest, I'd stay away from BTE. If you're looking, that's an oil and gas stock. There's a lot of great oil and gas stocks. Yo, iRobot, this company got they're at I feel bad if you own this one, and I would not own this stock because they lose so much money. But look, this stock is at an all-time low. This company, if you look back here, they were going to get bought out by Amazon. Amazon made an offer to buy out this stock. They own Roomba. Has anyone heard of that? Like that I don't know, vacuum cleaner that like cleans the room itself. They were trying to get bought out by Amazon, and that's why the stock went like this. And then the FTC said no, they didn't approve it. So they didn't allow Amazon to buy the stock. And now the stock is at an all-time low thanks to the government. So if we look at the net income right here, here's why I can't buy this stock. They lose so much money. It's so sad. So yeah, I'd be careful with iRobot. Oh, yo, James says TTD. So here's the trade desk. This is an advertising stock. If you're wondering, like, hey, why is the stock just collapsed recently? Why'd they fall so dramatically? That's actually because Netflix dropped them. Netflix no longer uses Trade Desk to find advertisers, which is why the stock fell. But if we look at this quarter's earnings, they were great. Sales were up 22%, and so was profits. The net income was up 87%, so their margins are growing. Wow, a 25% net margin on this company? That's incredible. But again, they just lost Netflix, which is not great. Um, oh, where is K says LCID? So this is Lucid Group. I feel bad if you own this one because they just dilute you so much. I would stay away from this one in my, not financial advice, but don't buy Lucid, even though they're on a dip, don't buy them. And that's because they're diluting you as a shareholder when the stock is, heavily suppressed and they're losing so much money. Let me see how much the whole company is worth. The whole company is worth 7.4 billion. And literally in the past year, they've lost well over $2.3 billion. So they've lost 25% of their market cap in a year, basically. So anyway, I just cannot trust my money with this company just because they just lose a lot of money. So I feel like they'll just slowly keep on going lower. Can you look at Love Your Rap? Look at BE. Yeah, what up, Siebert? Bloom Energy. So this stock I've never heard of. Looks like they IPO'd not too long ago. They're worth $5.6 billion. What about the profits? Are they profitable? So look at the most recent quarter. Just jumped up to 100 million of net income. That's nice. Yeah, look at the sales. Just jumped up 60%. So that's real. That's probably why the stock, look at that incredible rally that it had. That's probably why, because the numbers just incredibly profitable. I followed. Hey, Robert, thanks for the follow, dude. I appreciate you. CCL, Corey said Carnival Cruise Line. So I don't love the cruise line industry, but I do own Disney, and Disney does own some cruises. But Carnival Cruise Line, if there is a recession, cruises are going to get hurt a lot because that's like one thing people stop spending on, vacations. But if you look now, if you average out the 4 most recent quarters, this company is incredibly profitable. They're making like a lot of money every quarter. But if we look at what happened back in 2022, look at this. This is not the kind of company you want to own in a recession because look in 2020, they were losing 2 billion of net income a quarter. So that's why the stock is, you know, down since 2019. Um but yeah, anyway, I got Disney stock. I don't have too much of them. Yeah, I've been dollar cost averaging into Disney. I recommend if you want to buy a stock, slowly dollar cost average into the company. Don't, it's a more disciplined approach. Don't spend all your money at once. But again, you could still lose a lot of money. So this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research. Yo, Visa. Yeah, let's check out ticker symbol V. So this is a gray fintech company. They have a shared duopoly on the credit card industry. And check this out right here. This is what's incredible. They literally make over 5 billion of net income a quarter. So that's 20 billion of net income a year. Yeah, the credit card companies, they collect those small micro transaction fees that are slowly bankrupting us all and makes Visa a lot of money. So hey, and why not own some of the company, right? You get a nice dividend as well. They can grow their dividend. So Visa's cool. Yo, free me. He says QUBT. So yeah, this is the quantum stock, QUBT. So yeah, the name of the company is literally quantum computing. So they're only a $1.1 billion company. Wait, when do they report earnings? Wait, do they report earnings tomorrow? On the 20th. And tomorrow's the 20th. So pretty much this company's going to go up or down a bunch tomorrow because they report earnings. So that's what all eyes are on. Yeah, look at that. They don't actually have much sales. Look at that. The sales are only 100,000 in the most recent quarter. And the net income, they lost 5 million. But they have a really good balance sheet. Looks like they have no debt at all and a lot of cash. So QUBT, actually, I'll show you the watch list of quantum stocks here. Yeah, my favorite quantum stock, honestly, is Google. They have the money and the talent to be the industry leader. Um, but anyway, yo, what up? Richie says SRFM. What is that company? SRFM. So Surf Air Mobility. So this company, I've not heard of this one before actually. So dang, they're only worth $60 million. So that's a very small market cap. They're worth 60 million. Let's see. So scheduled. I don't know what that is, but they're making a lot of revenue from it, 22 million. So in the most recent quarter, they just made net income. They used to lose a lot of money, but in the most recent quarter, they did make net income. So that, as long as they can keep up that profitability, that's good news. What about FIX? Yo, Rick, what's up, bro? I actually own that stock up here. Check that out. That's actually my largest holding here in my Moo portfolio. We've been dollar cost averaging into this stock right here. I'll be quick with this one. I'm mainly just buying it because of the growth. The free cash flow is up 15% year over year, and the net income is up 60% year over year. Incredible net income growth. And the PE ratio is pretty fair. They're trading at 25 times net income. They have a super low dividend payout ratio. So anyway, I have a bunch of YouTube videos about this stock if you want to check it out. So I'm down 4% on them. Yeah, that's my Mumo portfolio. Here's my other, this is my main taxable account right here. We were up 2.37%. Yeah, the stock market did great today. Congrats if you own any stocks. Yeah, here are all the stocks that we own in here. Like we got McDonald's, Google, Meta. Yo, Andre says PGR Progressive. Yo, this is my favorite insurance stock. Yes, dude. They were down 3.5% on the day. Not sure why, because they didn't report earnings, but it's probably just a little RSI retrace because look at how the stock's done. They're pretty much at an all-time high. But I absolutely love this company because look at the valuation. If we look at the PE, they're trading at an 18 PE ratio. So they're actually trading at a fair valuation. And look at the personal lines. Is their premiums, it's up 23% year over year. So they're actually growing their fundamentals and same with their profits. They literally make pretty much 2 billion plus of net income every quarter, which is incredible for Progressive. And they do special dividends, which is crazy. So yeah, Corey says, what about ticker symbol T? So this is AT&T. I'd say you want to buy this stock. Thank you, TikTok. Hold on. Okay, there we go. We should be back. Yeah, so the main reason you want to buy AT&T stock is for the dividend. You're not going to get much stock price appreciation, but look recently, the stock has had a lot of stock price appreciation, which is very odd. But congrats if you own them. But you get a 4% dividend with this one, so you get 1% of your money back every quarter in a dividend. So that's and it's a qualified dividend. So, yo, eggs. This app is called Moo. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's the first link there if you want to get it. Texas Roadhouse, yo, TJ Goodman, Texas Roadhouse, incredible restaurant. Wait, with incredible management, and this stock really deserves to be close to an all-time high. They've outperformed the S&P 500. So look at this right here. Look at their Texas Roadhouse business. You know, that's 93% of the revenue. But if you look at it, it is up 23% year over year. So for a restaurant in this environment to be growing 23% is really impressive in my opinion. And same with their net income, their margins are actually growing. They made 100 million of net income. So their net margin is now an 8.24%. It's up 27%. So anyway, Texas Roadhouse deserves to be doing so good. Yeah, Hawaii Electric. Yo, does anyone remember a long time ago the Hawaii fires, the Maui fires or whatever? This company got blamed for it. They said Hawaii Electric is blamed for this huge billion-dollar fire, and they had to pay a huge fine. And they actually just paid the fine. Look at this right here. If we go to the operating profit right here, they had to pay 2 quarters ago $1.7 billion. And that's devastating because the whole company is worth $1.9 billion. So, they pretty much paid the entire company out in legal fees. Yeah, their assets just collapsed. So they still own all of Hawaii for utilities, but I'd be careful with that one. So here's what up, Tony says QuantumScape. Yeah, so QS right here. Dang, so look at this stock is pretty much at an all-time low. Dang, I feel bad if you own this one. So, they don't sell anything. Yikes. So if we go to their revenue right here, they've literally never sold a product or a service or anything. They just don't have any sales. What about net income? And dang, look at that. For the full year 20, they lose 100 million of net income a quarter plus. So the good news is they have a really good balance sheet. They have no debt. But look at that. If you notice, the assets are slowly going down because they're losing that income. So I'd be careful with QS as well. They just don't sell anything right now. Yo, Pato says GRAB. Yeah, I meant to get to that one earlier. Grab Holdings is such a fascinating stock because Uber just took a huge stake in this company to the point where Uber is now the largest shareholder. Look at that. Uber owns 13% of this company, which is a brilliant move on Uber's behalf, in my opinion. The revenue is up 17% year over year. The free cash flow is incredible. This is pretty much Uber for everywhere else except the United States. Look at all these other countries they're in. Indonesia, Singapore, all these other countries. And notice United States is nowhere on there because Uber already owns the United States. So now Uber has exposure to all these other countries. So genius move by them. And they're making money now. So I like Grab Holdings. Marco says CRDO. What's this one? Let me check it out. So Credo Technology. They're a $9 billion company, so they have a pretty big market cap. Let's see, what are their sales? So, so the revenue just jumped up to 135 million. Wow, that's some really nice revenue growth, actually. What about profits? Look at that. So they actually just made 29 million of net income for the first time. So that's really impressive. The free cash flow is a little choppy, but the valuation's probably just high on this company because they're not making any money. Oh, but they have a great balance sheet. Look at that right there. They have a phenomenal balance sheet, no debt. So, actually, the best part is the sales growth. Look, in the most recent quarter, it just jumped up 150%. As long as they can keep that up, that'd be great news for that company. I wish Face Punch Studio was public. Dude, you know what is public though, Corey, is Unity. The game Rust is powered by Unity, but this is unfortunately a stock I could never buy. Unity, if you look at them, the stock is close to an all-time low, and they sadly deserve it because look at their net income. They lose $100 million of net income plus every quarter, so they're losing a lot of money, and the sales are down 25%. So they lost the growth of their sales, and they're losing a boatload of money every quarter. So, yikes! They lose $1 million a day. That's crazy. Unity, wait, or they lose more than that, slightly more than that. Here we go. VMAR, what is that company? Vision Marine Technologies. So, wait, William, what stock was the last one? I'm not sure, but if you go to, William, if you scroll back, you should be able to go back on the YouTube video. So yeah, hey, if y'all are on the TikTok stream and want to support me, I don't sell anything. I don't got a course book Discord. So if you want to hit the follow button, I'd really appreciate that. But if you want to support me, I have a YouTube channel where I'm dual streaming, and it'd help me out if you watch the stream from YouTube instead of TikTok. But anyway, look in the top right. This company looks extremely risky. They're only worth $6 million. So the whole market cap is $6 million, and the stock is at an all-time low. Let's see the net income. Yeah, look at that. They lose net income every quarter, and the sales are nothing. The sales just fell to 100,000. So yikes. Oh yeah, and if y'all go to the YouTube stream, you can watch it on replay. I've previous streams up as well. So yeah, the VMR looks incredibly risky. Richie, I'd be careful with that one. So here's Waste Management, bro. This is like the most high quality company. Waste management's going nowhere. People always got to throw away their trash. And Waste Management also owns a bunch of land slash landfills. So they have a lot of property value. But what's cool is the second largest shareholder is Bill Gates. Bill Gates owns 8% of the company. So he sees something in here, and look at the net income. They just make 500 to 700 million of net income a quarter. And then you also get a lovely dividend. You get a 1.4% dividend yield with Waste Management. So yeah, that was a great one to just buy and hold for the long run. But it's kind of tough to buy them right now. Yo, Mark said TNXP. So Tonix Pharmaceuticals. Yikes! Look at this stock chart right here. Oh, that's not good. Look what this app is telling us. It says there is a bullish continuation wedge, or maybe that's good. I don't know. But yeah, again, if we look at the market cap in the top right, they're only worth $100 million. So this is a $100 million company. That is very tiny. And yeah, dang, they're losing so much net income every quarter. Over 20 million of net income a quarter, and the sales are nothing. The sales are only 2.5 million. Looks like they have a good balance sheet though. Looks like they have a lot of cash and no debt. But yeah, I just they don't really sell anything. Um, you do QBTS, yeah. Let's check out QBTS right here. So this is D-Wave Quantum. This is like the only quantum stock that is at all-time highs right now. So this is like the quantum winner. But they gave some good forecasts, but right now's earnings weren't that great. The sales are down 20%, and the net income, they just lost 90 million of net income. So that's not good, obviously, but they must have had some good forecast or something. Honestly, I wouldn't put at this valuation, I wouldn't probably put any money into there, but they've done great though. Oh, yo, so Mr. U says DoorDash stock. So yeah, this is kind of Uber's competitor. Look at DoorDash actually. They've done really good. Let me look at their numbers. Total order metrics. So 685 million total orders. What about the net income, the profits? So yeah, look at that. They used to lose net income every quarter, but now in the two most recent quarters, they made net income. That's great news, actually. So they're in over 100 million, and the free cash flow is even better. That's what FCF stands for. They literally made 400 million of free cash flow, or they make 400 million every quarter. So DoorDash is actually pretty cool. Ticker symbol Dash. AHO said ABVC. Advanced by, yeah, so this one I can already tell sounds really risky. Yeah, so they're only worth $15 million. The whole company's worth 15 million. That's very small. So yeah, if we look at the sales here, let's hope they sell something. So the sales actually, they finally sold something. It was 300,000, but again, that's not much sales. So yeah, honestly, they're only worth 15 million. I would just have to stay away from that one. I feel bad. But here's a really interesting company. User said Reddit stock. So I'll go to my watch list here of stocks with zero debt. Every stock in this watch list actually has zero debt. DocuSign, Sprouts Farmers Market, Duolingo, Pinterest, Zoom, Palantir, and even Reddit. Reddit is a debt-free company, so they have no debt whatsoever. And check this out. This is what's crazy impressive is the actual sales growth. Well, let me just go to it on the free cash flow. The free cash flow just exploded, 90 million of free cash flow, and the net income was 71 million. And they just have this monster balance sheet, like I said, because they have no debt. They have no debt, and let's see how much cash. $1.8 billion of cash Reddit is chilling on. And they just had a partnership with Google as well. So yeah, they're literally, 10% of the market cap is just cash. So yeah, 10% of Reddit's market cap is just cash. So, oh, yo, hey, this app is called Mumu. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's the first link there. What do you think about MPWR? Is that a stock? MPWR. So Monolithic Power Systems. Okay, let's check this one out. They've done very good. Actually, check that out. They're a $600 stock. But look at the valuation. They're trading at 17 times net income. So um, that's a low valuation actually. Let me. Oh, so this must be a one-time adjustment because yeah, look at that. They should have made like 150 million of net income. So they had a little one-time adjustment to their net income. That's why the PE looks so cheap. That makes sense. But let me just look at the sales because that's what matters. So the sales are up 21% year over year. Well, let me just look at the revenue. Yeah, or actually, it's up 36% year over year. So that's even better. Sales are growing faster. So whoa, look at that balance sheet. Actually, that's the great news here. The balance sheet this company has looks like they have no debt with a bunch of assets. So MPWR is a cool company. Yeah, how'd y'all's portfolio do today? Here, I'll show you my Robinhood account real quick. Yeah, I haven't looked at my portfolio in a long time. See, here's my Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is just a tax-free retirement account. Um, it's only 500 bucks, but we're up 2.9% on the day. Let's go. And here's our main taxable account. We're up 2.4% on the day. So yeah, every stock in here, how's y'all portfolio do? We were up on every single holding in here. So today was a great day to be in the market. And same with our Mumu portfolio, we were up 2.27% on the day. So yeah, let's look at some more stocks here. Yo, Taylor says, what do you think about Rocket Lab? I actually really like this company. They have over $1 billion of backlog orders. They have a $1.2 billion backlog of orders. And check out their space systems revenue. This is the best part right here. Super impressive. It is up 75% year over year. So that's some phenomenal growth. 75%, growth. And but you got to be careful. This is the only thing I don't like is that they're losing money right now. They're losing 50 million a quarter, but they have the balance sheet to get through it. But that's okay because of this sales growth. As long as they can keep up this sales growth, I don't mind that for Rocket Lab. So yeah, let me know what you think. And hey, thanks for the follow, Laura. Yeah, if y'all want to hit the follow button, we go live every day, twice a day. We just look at stocks and, I don't sell anything. I don't got a course book, Discord. I don't got none of that. I'm literally just on here giving my opinion. But I do have a YouTube channel. So if y'all want to support me, head over to my YouTube channel. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's also called Nathan Robert. What should I be investing in for the long run? That's a great question. What should you be investing in for the long term? Ticker symbol VOO. This is not financial advice, but this is literally just the S&P 500. Have this as the backbone of your portfolio. It literally breaks your money up into the best companies. Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google. I use literally all these companies. I use Apple, I use Nvidia, I use Microsoft, I use Amazon, I use Meta, I use Google, I use Broadcom. Like, invest in what you use. Like, this sounds stupid. McDonald's really has like the best deals. The stuff ain't healthy, but they got the best prices. So I own McDonald's stock and I get a nice little dividend because of it. Oh, and our utility bill. Literally, my utility bill, our natural gas bill, comes from Constellation Energy. And so I got some Constellation Energy stock. So why not? I just have a unique way of thinking about it. Oh, yo, Trish says, oh wait, I want to look at CYCU. Then we can look at MRVL. Yeah, that's Marvel. So this company is only worth $7 million. So this is a very small company, actually. Only a $7 million market cap. I'd stay away from that one. Yeah. And we can't even look at any data from them. So yeah, just don't buy that one, my friend. Uh, Unless you're just looking for micro caps to invest in to risk it all in, I just would not buy that stock. So risky. So here's MRVL. This is Marvel Technologies. So let's see here. Look at the net income, actually. They just made net income for the first time. It looks like they used to lose money every quarter. Now they just made 200 million of net income. The sales are up 27%. So hey, actually the growth there is pretty good. They beat on all three metrics in the most recent earnings quarter. A guy said that we could dine and I'm still eating a McDonald's cheeseburger. Hey, yeah. McDonald's is really a real estate company. That's what a lot of people don't know. That's why I like McDonald's as an investment. Like if we compare, look at Wendy's stock. I love Wendy's more than McDonald's. Not the stock, but look at Wendy's stock. This stock is lower than it was back in the year 2002. That's because Wendy's just sells burgers. But guess what? McDonald's actually owns the land under every McDonald's. So they're really a real estate company. They collect high margin royalties and rent from all their tenants. And look at this stock. Since 2001, this stock is like over 10x while Wendy's has stayed flat. So that's kind of crazy. That's what I don't believe. How is Wendy's doing so bad? Literally, I don't know. Uh, XLK and VUG. Oh yeah, those are ETFs. Let's check it out. XLK. So you technology sector ETF. So we just go to the fund's top holdings here. So its top holdings is Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Broadcom, and Salesforce. Hey, I own Salesforce. So actually I like XLK. Oh yeah, Laura. In VUG, yeah. Hey, I'm actually about to end the stream here. I really appreciate y'all being here. So if y'all want to hit the follow button, we go live every day, twice a day. We just look at stocks and stuff. But yeah, here's VUG, the Vanguard Growth ETF. So this focuses on, I guess, on more growthier stocks. It's just more tech heavy than the S&P 500. Yeah, look at that. Actually this stock moves like the QQQ actually. So that's what's really interesting about them. But yeah, hey, so I'm gonna end the stream here. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks again for the little gift there, Laura. Thanks for the heart. I appreciate that. If y'all want to support me, I don't sell anything. I don't got a course book, Discord, WhatsApp, Telegram. I don't got none of that. Also, watch out for people impersonating me. I only have this one TikTok account, and I also only have one YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is called Nathan Robert. It's in the link tree in my bio. So if y'all want to follow me on my YouTube channel or subscribe to it, I'd really appreciate that. I dual stream on there, so y'all can go back on the stream if you missed something. Oh, yo, Tails, real quick. He said INOD. I actually own this stock right here. This is InnoData. And we only own 2 shares of this stock. Like, I get it. Big whoop, only 2 shares. But let me show you why I love this stock. Last one here. I got you, Tails. This company's main customers are literally Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, Google, and Amazon. All those huge names I just said are customers of this company right here. And their sales are up 161% year over year. Their digital data solutions, we can also look at their agility revenue, whatever that is up 25% year over year. And this company has no net debt either. They just beat like crazy on their EBITDA. They beat on their EPS, their revenue. They beat on every metric. The growth is just off the chain here on InnoData. And that's what I look for, companies that are growing like crazy. Again, I don't own much of this stock. They're only worth $1.3 billion. That's a very small market cap, $1.3 billion. So that's why I don't want to put a huge chunk of my money in this company. It's kind of like SoFi. We head back over in like Robinhood. If we head over back to my portfolio over here, I only have 24 shares left of SoFi just because they're so risky. I don't want to have that much money in there. But anyway, hope you have a great rest of your day. I appreciate y'all. If you want to support me, check out the YouTube channel, my most recent YouTube video, I go over 3 high-yielding dividend stocks. So if you like dividend companies that pay you income, I go over 3 high-yielding dividend ones in the most recent YouTube video. Anyway, y'all are the best. I'll see you on the next one. Hope you have a great rest of your night. Yeah, thanks for being here on the YouTube stream. Y'all are the best. See you later, Tails. See you later, William.